Hi there, beautiful souls. Welcome to Elle's Temple. My name is Elle. I'm a goddess, guide, tarot reader, and holistic healer. And today I'm very excited to be bringing you a reading all about what new beginning is coming in for you. So we have got the beautiful goddess Athena here as the goddess who is presiding over today's reading, and her message, her guidance is be independent and listen to the wisdom within yourself, goddess of wisdom. So she's a wonderful goddess to have on board, being the goddess of Greek goddess of strategy and war and the military, wisdom, initiation, intuition, all of that kind of thing. She's a wonderful goddess to call on if you are starting something new, if you are needing to go forward with something, if you're needing to take action on something, if you're being called towards like your clarity, like if you're feeling more clarity in your purpose, or whether it's a new business you're starting, a new job you're starting, a new relationship you're starting, whatever it might be, wherever you need to like really just call on your intuition, call on your inner wisdom, create a strategy to move forward, create a strategy for action. She's a wonderful goddess who really like marries well both the masculine and the feminine side. So drawing on your intuition and then knowing how to actually take action on that intuition. For those of you who've watched my readings before, you'll know that the way that I pick the topic for the reading is to do a shuffle of a tarot deck. Often it's the Everyday Witch tarot deck, this one here, which I absolutely love. And whichever card comes flying out is usually an indication of the theme that Spirit wants to talk about for the reading. And today we got Ace of Swords, which is all about basically kind of similar stuff to what I was just talking about with Athena, like new beginnings, action, clarity, moving forward with something, being decisive, making a decision about something. So for those of you that might have been feeling a little bit stagnated or stuck, or like wondering when things are going to move forward, or when your new beginning is coming in, and whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, this will be the reading for you. So I'm going to introduce the piles now. So for pile number one, if you are drawn to the gorgeous Lapis Lazuli here, you will be, hopefully you can see the gorgeous little gold flecks, if it will focus. There we go, yeah. Gorgeous golden navy color Lapis Lazuli, and the Ace of Swords from the Everyday Witch, you will be pile number one. If you are drawn to the Apophyllite crystal and the Ace of Swords from the Wild Unknown deck, you will be pile number two. If you're drawn to the Amethyst crystal and the Ace of Swords from the Line Strider deck, you will be pile number three. And if you're drawn to the Rose Quartz crystal and the Ace of Spades, or which is equivalent to the Ace of Swords in the Jane Austen deck, you will be pile number four. So my loves, take a moment to connect in with your intuition. Really just ground your energy. Close your eyes if you need to. Pause the video if you need to. Trust that whichever pile you're drawn to will have messages for you. And if you're drawn to more than one pile, it might be that there are some messages across the piles that you just need to cobble together to create your reading. Don't ever try to make a pile fit if it's just not resonating, if it doesn't feel like it's speaking about your energy or what's going on for you. Don't force it. You know, there's so many readings on YouTube, so just always take what resonates and leave the rest. You know, if part of it is resonating for you but another part, the next part of the reading doesn't, just trust that it's a message for someone else. So always just go with what your intuition is telling you in terms of what is actually resonating. Okay, my lovelies, I will see you in your pile. Bye-bye. Hi there, pile number one. If you chose the Lapis Lazuli crystal and the Everyday Witch Tarot, this will be your reading. I'm going to start off with the channel messages that came through from your oracle cards, and then I'll do a live shuffle and pull some tarot to see what other messages might be coming through. So for the new beginning that you can expect, pile number one, you have got the Cornucopia card number 11. So very aligned message coming through for you. From the Moonology deck, we've got the What Do You Need to Release card, Waning Moon, and I'll go through the channel messages in just a moment. I'm just going to lay your cards out first. Then we got the Visualization card from the Chakra deck, which is card number 28 and is linked with the third eye. Which is all about your intuition. And from the Goddess deck, we got Goddess Lakshmi, welcome wealth in all its forms, Goddess of abundance. Beautiful, beautiful energy here. So, channel messages for you, Pile One. I feel like what is coming in, the new beginning that you have been working on manifesting, or the new beginning that is coming in for you, that you can expect in the very near future, is, I feel like, abundance in terms of, mostly I feel like financial success, financial abundance, business success, that kind of thing. But it may be it may be it may be other things that you've been trying to work towards, because with this cornucopia card here, this definitely speaks of harvest, because we've got this beautiful like harvest energy with all these, beautiful grapes and delicious food and everything like that. I'm getting a little bit of a travel vibe as well. So for some of you that are wanting to travel and maybe like, I don't know, just have some personal freedoms again, like eating out and that kind of thing, you might be sort of manifesting an abundance of that, or just the financial freedom to be able to do that, or maybe something, I'm hearing like eating out in nice restaurants, if that's something that you really like doing, or just, it could be, cornucopia just speaks of like wishes fulfilled. So whatever it is, you'll know, part one, whatever it is that you've been wishing for, whatever, maybe some of you've been doing your vision boards. And speaking of vision boards, with visualization here, there's a strong message to do things like vision boarding, envisaging, each day, like envisage the life that you want to create, envisage the abundance that you want to call in. And really with the Lakshmi, welcome wealth in all its forms, Lakshmi is here for you to really call on to help anchor in that vision that you have for whatever this wish is that you are trying to fulfill. With the what do you need to release card here, this can speak of releasing basically any old beliefs, especially beliefs from family. If you grew up with beliefs about money or abundance or wealth as being difficult to obtain, difficult to get, say you want to, especially with, you can see with this, Athena, you've fallen over. With this Lakshmi card, welcome wealth in all its forms, and you can see, I'm just going to move that out of the way for now. You can see these two on like a flying carpet. I'm kind of getting vibes of like Aladdin and the two of them kind of traveling off in the distance together, Aladdin and Jasmine. So some of you might be really wanting to travel, or travel with, your partner or something like that. But it might be something that maybe growing up you didn't have that modeled to you, and you might have grown up with a lot of like patterns of scarcity, or just members of your family or your community saying like, oh, that's not possible to like travel around the world, or, be wealthy, or kind of, have financial freedom to do what you want to do. You've got to work hard for a living. You've got to stay in the same job for a really, really, really long time. And eventually when you retire, maybe then you might be lucky enough, and any kind of just limiting beliefs around whatever this wish is that you're wanting to fulfill, or whatever this wealth or abundance is that you're wanting to call in. I do feel like for many of you, this is like a new beginning, coming into your truth around like what you feel worthy of, what you deserve, almost like becoming like a manifestation master as well, with visualization, like getting to a point where you can like visualize something that you want to happen in your life, or a wish that you want to be fulfilled. And then it's almost like with that third eye there, and with that big eye, it's like and all this painting energy, it's like you're creating your reality. So whatever you internally visualize and focus on, you'll see that then manifest on the outside. You'll then be able to welcome it in. But first, it's just a little bit of releasing work. I feel like this is less to do with like work to do, and more just a little bit like kind of letting go and going with the flow. You can see with Lakshmi and her consort here, she's sitting on like a, I think it's like a big bird, like a beautiful like flower cushiony thing, but it's on, you can hopefully see it there. There's actually a bird that they're sitting on, and the bird is flying, which is where I got that energy of maybe some of you want to, be able to travel, and you want to explore, and you want an abundance of, just exploring the world and having that freedom to go off and do what you want. Or just be wealthy in some way, not have to worry about money, maybe not have to be stuck in one location or stuck in one job or something like that. So I do feel this energy with this release. It's maybe less to do with like working hard to like change your beliefs and kind of kind of try and go about trying to get the money or trying to get the wealth. And it's a little bit more receptive and letting go and going with the flow and trusting and visualizing, and then just trusting that what you are visualizing is going to come to you and you'll welcome it with open arms. I don't really feel like with this waning moon, it's almost like just using the energy of the moon naturally. Like the moon comes in ebbs and flows, right? So it, waxes and it comes into the full moon, and then it wanes and it goes back to the new moon, and it goes in cycles like this. And it's almost like trusting that, like, whatever this abundance is that you're trying to manifest, that it comes and goes, and it goes in cycles. And it's like you're just in a cycle now. Like if you are wanting this new beginning with this abundance, that you might be in a cycle now of where you're like, oh, well, I'm not seeing that because I'm getting with this visualization. It's like there's a need to, maybe the only work you need to do is to start visualizing what you do want to see, not looking at your external reality and saying like, oh, well, that's not actually what's showing up on my outside. And I've just picked up this Athena card, and she says, listen to the wisdom within yourself. So it's like ignoring what other people might have been telling you, ignoring anyone else's wisdom or anyone else's ideas for you, and trusting your own intuition. What do you intuitively want for yourself? And if you really focus on that, visualize it, do maybe some creative visualization meditations could be really helpful for you. Maybe vision boarding could be really helpful for you. Anything like that, where you're focusing on the vision of what you do want to create, and releasing any, just moving away from any old ideas, letting go of any old beliefs that aren't serving you. And that can just be a case of like day by day, observing your thoughts as thoughts come up, about wealth or money or whatever this wish is that's going to be fulfilled. Noticing if you've put a wish out to the universe, say you've done your vision boards for New Year's or whatever it is, which is brilliant if you have, and you start thinking about it and you go, oh, well, I still haven't got that money to go on that trip, or I still haven't got that money to, move forward with my business idea, or, rather than observing like what's happening on the outside, just keep visualizing it happening, like, and trusting. Athena is very much a goddess of like, tuning into yourself and really trusting yourself. So trust that desire is there for a reason. Trust that if you want to travel to these places or be wealthy, that you're deserving of that and you have a reason for that. And, it doesn't matter what anyone else says. It's just like you've got to go after what you want to go after. So I'm going to pull, that's the end of the channel messages that came through from the Oracle card. So I'm going to pull some tarot messages for you now. I have actually already, shuffled this deck a lot better than I just did then. But I'm just going to quickly do another shuffle and then pull some tarot for you, just to get a little bit more, see if we can get a little bit more insight into this new beginning that might be coming in. So what new beginning is coming in for pile number 1? Whoa, that came flying out. Woohoo, Queen of Wands. Yeah, definitely. Wow, powerful energy. Really powerful energy. You're becoming sovereign in your ability to manifest. Wands is all to do with like manifestation powers, being really powerful, being really passionate. It's like fire energy, it's passion energy, it's passion projects. If there's been some kind of project you've been wanting to work on or put out in the world, now is the time. If there's been something you've wanting to manifest, if it's some kind of success, you can see she's holding like a bouquet of flowers here. And she's got a wand in one hand, like an actual magical wand. So it's like whatever you're wanting to see in your world, whatever you're wanting to manifest, this is a very potent time for you to expect that cornucopia, to expect that abundance to come in. You're very, very powerful. You've got that, like, basically a queen energy is like you've got that sovereignty within you. You've got that, especially with, I feel like I'm going to put this under the what do you need to release, because this is kind of saying, you've got the sovereignty to choose what it is that you want to manifest into your life. Like, you say what you want. If you want success, you've got it. If you want to travel, and it's interesting, she's sitting on the back of a dragon who's got his wings. We've got 2 birds with wings outstretched. So if you're wanting to go global, if you're wanting to travel, whatever it is that you want to manifest, you know, you've got the power. That's what this card is saying. What else is coming in for pile number, or if you're wanting to start also, even though this isn't the Empress or the Emperor, I do get this sort of vibe of someone who might be wanting to start some kind of business or some kind of empire of their own. Just because I kind of just suddenly got like a Game of Thronesy sort of energy. So it's like you being like the empress of your own empire. It's like you are in charge, like you're the queen. So if that's the kind of thing that, if that's one of your wishes, if that's what you want to fulfill, if that's your, like with the Ace of Swords, if this is what you have set the intention for your new beginning, trust that you've got the sovereignty and the power to make that happen. What is coming in for pile 1 with this new beginning? What's coming in for pile 1 with this new beginning? Yes, Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, money, finances, offers, stability, security, things that are, again, things, Pentacles are to do with things that are going to manifest on the physical plane. So, and with that cornucopia, this is a very earthy energy card. It's like, you know, a whole harvest, a whole feast. It's like, I feel like the universe is kind of preparing this feast for you right now. I'm getting the vibe from, I don't know if any of you have seen this movie. It came out, I think, in the 90s. It was called The Little Princess, and really gorgeous movie. I'd highly recommend it. It is kind of a family movie, but it's still very sweet. And in that movie, there was a scene towards the end where the main girl, sorry, I've forgotten all the names of the characters, but the main girl is trying to get one of the other little girls at this orphanage where they're locked up in a room, and they've been given like hardly any food to eat, and it's really scary and horrible, and by the really mean lady at the orphanage. And she's trying to she's basically teaching kind of the essence of manifestation, which is all about visualization, because she's saying, like, you know, oh, and I'm just getting chills now. So this could be really, really powerful time for you guys to try this if you haven't already. You know, each day, especially just before you go to sleep, really visualize whatever this abundance, whatever this cornucopia is, really, really strongly visualize it. In that movie, she sort of says, you know, like, you know, she's talking to this little girl and she's like, what do you want to eat? You know, let's imagine we've got a table of all the foods that we want to eat. You know, what do you want on there? Do you want grapes? And the little girl's like, yes, I want grapes. And she's like, okay, imagine there are grapes on the table. Imagine you can eat them and taste them. What do they taste like? And she's describing it all. And then she's like, what else do you want to eat? And she's like, I don't know, she says like pudding, chocolate pudding or something. And it's like, okay, well, imagine the chocolate pudding is on the table and you can just reach out and grab it and eat it. And it's that kind of energy. And with Knight of Pentacles, it's like Pentacles can be the slowest moving energy of the 4 suits, because it is earth energy. And it's that kind of idea with cornucopia being an energy of something has been prepared on the energy realm for you, and it's going to essentially take a little bit of time for it to show up on the earth plane, because it's like the feast is already, the universe has heard your request, and the feast has already been prepared for you, and it's just going to take a little bit of time for it to show up on the earth realm for you to actually like see it physically showing up. Let's just see if we've got another tarot message. Whoa. Oh my goodness, the word. I love that. Yeah, again, travel, expansion, like, you know, I'm going to put that with a goddess of abundance, because I feel like this is kind of saying, whoopsie, that card keeps falling over. I'm going to put her away for now. It's kind of got that energy of like, I'm hearing that song from, I think it's Aladdin, that I can show you the world. Excuse my terrible singing voice. But it's that energy of like, you know, if you want to see the world, if you want to go around the world, then, you know, this is available to you. Like trusting that, you know, like there's ways and means to manifest the wealth to actually do that. Like you can, if that's one of your wishes, if that's the cornucopia that you want to call in, then you can most definitely do that with that world card there. So, and we'll get one more card for the visualization. Oh, wow. Yes. Wealthy lady or man, you know, as the case may be. So, yeah, most definitely visualizing this wealth for yourself, visualizing yourself being in a place where you're taken care for, so much so that you have an abundance, you have an overflow of wealth. You can see this lady is she's giving, she's, you know, she's very very successful by the looks, and she's got, you know, again, a basket of food. She's got enough for herself. She's sustained herself. We've got all this food here as well with that cornucopia card too. So it's like, you're going to be fine. You're going to have enough to live off. You're going to have enough to like eat. You're going to have what you can eat, whatever you want to eat, and then to the point that it looks like you can give to others. It doesn't have to be money. This could be anything. It could be your time. It could be your energy. It could be advice. It could be support. It could be, you know, whatever. But it could be getting to a point where you can like donate to charities, or, you know, volunteer your time or something, or like give to the poor in some sense, or, you know, just support others in whichever way. With Pentacles, again, you know, Knight of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, we were speaking of with Knight of Pentacles, it's to do with, you know, your things that are actually physically showing up on the earth plane, often to do with finances and money. So it could be that you've got to a point where you are just so financially well off and wealthy that you can just, you know, give money to others if that's what you want, because you've just got an overflow. You've got an overflow of wealth. You're doing fine. You're traveling the world if that's what you want. So yeah, you know, this is all extremely beautiful energy, Pile One. I have just absolutely loved doing this reading for you. I feel like the messages are pretty unequivocal. I don't think there's really anything else. The tarot is very nicely confirming more or less everything that the oracle cards are saying. So yes, I wish you all the very best with this new beginning. Please leave me a message below if this resonated. I would really love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for letting me read for you today. Thank you for your likes, for all your subscribes. It's wonderful having you here. All the best, my lovelies. Take care. All my love. Bye-bye. Hi there, pile number 2. If you chose the Wild Unknown Tarot and this Ace of Swords and the Apophyllite crystal, then this will be your reading. So I'm going to start with, I'm just going to put the tarot to one side for now, and I'm going to start with your oracle cards and channeled messages, and then we'll move on to the tarot at the end to get a bit more of a storyline for what might be coming in as part of this new beginning. So the energy that you have got coming through for your new beginning is Door to Spirit, card number 32 from the Energy Oracle deck. We also got the Mahavata Babaji Soul Expansion, and the message is your consciousness is expanding. You understand the connections between all things. We got from the Chakra Oracle deck Self Mastery, card number 15, which is linked with the solar plexus chakra. We got from the Moonology deck your dreams need a practical plan. I'm just going to move this over to one side for now. You can fit all your cards in, because you had an extra card pile too, because you're super special. Don't tell the other piles. So we got your dreams need a practical plan, full moon and Taurus. And then from the Goddess Inspiration Oracle, we got Bacta, the seeds of the future already lie within you. Find serenity as it unfolds, Goddess of Destiny. Yeah, beautiful energy. So first of all, before I start, I'm just going to read the message from the Door to Spirit card, because I feel like there was something specifically in this book that Spirit wanted me to read out. So this door opens onto the expansive energetic realm where all new beginnings originate. So rather appropriate, considering we're talking about a new beginning reading. So the orbs of light are guiding you through the clouds of the earthly world, leading you to a deeper understanding of your eternal identity, the source of all true value and power. This door opens onto truly unlimited potential, for the changes that happen here reach deep into the core of your being. As such, this card often heralds your increasing powers in the spiritual arts and a deepening connection with the spirit world. Don't be surprised if you find yourself becoming more intuitive, more aware of Spirit's presence, or more powerful in your own healing practices. Now is the time to open up to the unexpected guidance and inspiration of Spirit and to the magic and power of your true identity. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I kind of feel like in some ways I didn't even really need to pull all these other cards for you, but they just kind of back up what this card says in a way, because we've got soul expansion, your consciousness is expanding, you understand the connections between all things, which is very similar to this Door to Spirit, like being able to suddenly be more intuitive, be more connected to your soul, be more connected to your higher self, to your purpose, to your healing powers. We've got self-mastery as well, with the solar plexus chakra, which is all to do with like shining. You can see this sort of, there's this light radiating out from the solar plexus, which is your centered in your gut. For those of you that are new to the chakra thing, we have 7 main chakras. The solar plexus is the one situated in your core, in your gut. It's it's your seat of personal power, and we spoke of personal power in this card. So it's all to do with like radiating your personal power, standing in your authentic truth, shining your light of who you truly are in the world. Excuse me. Well, you've then got your dreams need a practical plan, full moon and Taurus. So I feel like these two cards kind of go together, because it's kind of like saying, excuse me, 1 second. Sorry about that, part 2. So it's kind of saying here with your dreams need a practical plan in terms of, and self-mastery. It's like, whatever this soul expansion period is, whatever this sort of upgrade, if you like, in terms of your intuitive powers or your healing powers or your connection with spirit. Some of you might be tarot readers, for example. You might already have some kind of spiritual business. You might be, I'm hearing like yoga teachers or something like that, where you're working or you're feeling more called towards a purpose that involves some kind of spiritual work, some kind of healing work, some kind of soul work, or possibly even I'm hearing like shamanic type work, something along those lines. And there's a need to like really start to get into the stage of mastery where you're shining your light in that regard into the world. I'm just getting, with this dove that's flying through this door. It's like doves and birds are messengers of spirit. So it's like you're going to, if you're not already doing it, there's this energy of like you're going to be a messenger for spirit, whether that's through, like I said, tarot readings, just giving some kind of like you could be like a spiritual counselor, for example, something like that. But there's generally a sort of an energy of like I feel that you're some kind of healer, or you're stepping into being a healer, or the healing arts. And I feel like this is very much destined for you. It's like the seeds of the future already lie within you. Find serenity as it unfolds. So it's almost like, don't resist this. Go with this expansion. You'll see all the connections between all the things. It's like everything that's happened to you in your life. Maybe you've been through a lot of pain. You might have been through a lot of suffering. A lot of issues with things, a lot of maybe health issues, whatever it might be, whatever blocks you've had to this self-mastery, to shining your true light. It's like those were all things, they were all obstacles and things that needed to happen so that you could learn ways to overcome them and to heal them, so that you could then use that to heal others. It's like you've mastered yourself. You're in the process of mastering yourself so that you can work with others and help them as well. And this is very much your destined path. However, with your dreams need a practical plan, there's this guidance of just, first of all, I'm just noticing with the full moon in Taurus, it might be that some of you are Taurus, sun, moon, rising, or Venus, or that this whole new beginning might happen around Taurus season or something, or the full moon in Taurus, which I think it's usually in the opposite sign, isn't it? So that would be in Scorpio, which I think is November. So it might take a little bit of time. Taurus energy is that earth energy, so it can be quite slow moving, but it's also the energy of like, once a seed has been planted, which I feel like has already happened for you, with a seed to kind of being more connected with the spiritual realm, having that connection with your intuition and so forth. It's like that seed's already been planted before. You might have already gone through some kind of spiritual awakening or something, maybe even gone through a dark night of the soul. And now it's a time for you to like shine your light. And with that Taurus energy, that's all about like, it comes in the zodiac world, it comes after the Aries sign, And Aries is all about initiations and new beginnings and like being the first and kind of having the energy of like, it's that fire energy of like that initial spark for something. And then Taurus is the earth energy that takes that initial seed, that germination, and like waters it, it gives it sunlight, it kind of just like creates this like lovely little womb space for it to grow. It's like it creates a little practical plan, if you like, for this germination of the seed. So if you've got a dream to start some sort of put yourself out in the world in some sort of way, whether it's a spiritual business of some sort, or even just a side project, or maybe start a blog or a channel or something, a platform, whatever it is you're being called to do, there's just that need to like sort of balance that spirituality and practicality, and take whatever is coming through to your consciousness, and then create a practical plan to make it happen on the earth realm. And also with the goddess Berkta here saying find serenity as it unfolds, it's like this is all destined for you. This is all going to unfold for you. It's just that, like, you know, all these ideas are all very what is going to download through. You know, that's all very destined. It's all very yeah, it's part of your path. It's part of why you incarnated. It's part of why you're here on this earth plane at this time, why you had to go through what you had to go through. But I feel that you're getting to a stage of being much more connected, so that you can see. It's like that Steve Jobs quote of you can only connect the dots backwards, never forwards. And it's like you're seeing now how all those connections between all those things, why they all happened the way they happened. And now you're at this point of self-mastery of like, bing, like just shining your light in the world, Pal 2. You are going to be big. I'm hearing like light workers. Some of you maybe star seeds or something like that. Yeah, because I've just been drawn to the fact that the seeds of the future already lie within you. It's like you've already been planted with seeds, if you like, before you came here. All the things that were supposed to happen to you happened because there was like a whole plan for, you know, what was going to grow. You had to grow through all that pain, if you like, to be able to help others, or to be able to live your purpose. So let's just get a bit more of an idea of, from the tarot, what might be coming through for this new beginning for you, Pal 2. What new beginning is coming in? Whoa, hoo, hoo. The Lovers. Whoa, beautiful. Yeah, so, well, for some of you, it could be a very spiritual partnership that's coming in, something that's really going to expand your soul, some kind of love connection, maybe something with these birds here as well. This could be, and it's like these birds are both flying in the same direction. So this could be like you're both very aligned. You're both going to very much align each other so that you line up and go along this like destined path. So for those of you wanting to manifest like a soulmate relationship, that might well be on the cards for you. I'm just going to move all your cards up a little bit so we can fit everything in here. Yeah, so the Lovers. What else is coming in for Pile 2? Daughter of Swords. Yeah, beautiful. This wisdom. It's like you're going to get these sparks. It's similar sort of energy to the little sparks that are behind this Mahadeva Babaji person as well. These beautiful, and in this card actually you've got little sparks of light. So I feel like you're very connected, Pile 2. You're very already connected with like your oversoul, if you like, or your higher self. And there's just all this wisdom coming down. You've got also with Athena being the goddess of the reading, and she's got an owl. An owl is like her totem animal. So you've got that confirmation that this wisdom, this intuition is going to be coming through for you. You're going to make a decision on what to go forward towards and just go for it. But trusting your wisdom, trusting your intuition, being guided by your intuition rather than necessarily like going with going with the crowd, or going, you know, doing something you were expected to do, or something inside the box. It's like you're really again, this self-mastery energy. It's like you're choosing to go in the path that is like shining your true authentic light. Like, it's like, no, I've got to go towards this. I've got to be me. I've got to shine my true light. I've got to go towards my destined path now. I really feel like for many of you, you're with this daughter spirit, it's like a calling. It's like you're going to receive this calling. What is coming through for this new beginning for pile 2? Woo. Yeah, endings, pain. Yeah, so I did speak of that. Some of you, I feel like this is not to do with something that's going to happen. I feel like, well, for some of you, it might be an ending of something as you go towards this new beginning. Something might need to fall away. There might need to be some ending in some path, your old path maybe. But I feel like this is more to do with like where you've had endings and pain in the past. And I was speaking of that before. I got this energy of many of you are, you know, you've been brought down to this earth to go through many difficult challenges. You might have gone through quite a lot of pain or quite a lot of difficulty, or maybe even some betrayal or something like that, something that was very difficult to overcome. And you didn't understand it at the time, but it's like you're getting all this downloads now, you know, with this Daughter of Swords, all these beautiful like downloads of light coming to you. You know, the Mahata Babaji, you understand the connections between all things. There's just this energy of like whatever pain has happened in the past, like that's all, it's all going to start to make sense. You're going to be able to start to connect all those dots. Let's have a look at this. What else is coming in for your new beginning? Yes. So Two of Swords is all to do with like going within and trusting your intuition to figure out your best course of action. So for some of you, I picked up on with that Daughter of Swords, it's like some of you have to make a decision between going after this calling versus like maybe some kind of job or something you've been doing in the past that was something that you, you know, something that you were trained to do, something that your family or whatever might have expected you to do. And you never in a million years could dream of doing this new career or this healing work or whatever it might be, but your soul is really, really calling you to master that now and like put yourself out there, make a plan and make your dreams happen. And so you're at a decision point, you're at a bit of a crossroads, but with the, I think it's the Rider-Waite card for the Two of Swords, it normally shows a person blindfolded, and you know, they're holding two swords in front of them, and it's like they're blindfolded to which path leads where, but they've got to go within and trust their intuition, trust that owl of wisdom, the Athena. Listen to the wisdom within yourself, listen to your intuition and where it wants you to go, where it's leading you towards. Also, I meant to say as well, with the Mahadeva Babaji and the Lovers, this can speak of that union between like your masculine and your feminine self as well. The Lovers is to do with that too. So that's something that you can, something that might be happening on the inside first, and then that might manifest on the outside in the form of an external relationship with like a divine masculine or a divine feminine, you know, your whatever your counterpart is. For some of you who you might already be in a relationship or you don't want a relationship or something, you can ignore that. And it just means the Lovers is to do with like finding that inner lover, that inner connection with your inner soulmate or your inner soul, your inner masculine or inner feminine. It's like finding that balance, that yin yang, and really working with it there. So I'm going to get one more card for you, pile 2. And one more card for pile 2. Four of Cups. Yeah, you have been dissatisfied with what you've been doing. Four of Cups can speak of like just all the happiness and satisfaction that you had from a situation previously that might have previously brought you a bit of you know, joy. It's now the joy is sort of gone. It's drained out. You're a bit bored. You're a bit dissatisfied. You're moving on. I feel like with this little mouse or rat scuttling across the top of the cups, it's like, yeah, I think it's time to go. There's not going to be any more liquid I can get out of these cups. And with that crescent moon, that's like symbolic of the moon, wisdom, intuition, the feminine, trusting the, you know, trusting that sort of invisible realm, if you like. So yeah, there's this real need to, like, as you make this decision, as you go potentially towards this new thing, to really go within and trust your intuition and look at where, if there's something that you need to walk away from, you know, if that's what your intuition is telling you, it might be that that's something you need to let go of, something that needs to end and fall away so that you can have this lovely new beginning. Because it really is destined for you. There is this sense of like, this is going to happen anyway. Like you're destined to have this new beginning. You're destined to have this path. And it's like, you can either choose to go after it and make a plan to go towards what you're being called towards, or like spirit's going to come in with that daughter spirit, not in like a mean way, but in the most loving way possible. But spirit's going to come in and kind of like redirect you onto the path that like is destined for you, is the kind of the energy I'm getting. Because you're not going to get anything more out of the situation that you've been in, is my feeling. And it's time for you to, like, yeah, really shine your authentic light, be who you truly are, go towards this work, that my feeling is for many, it won't be the same for all of you, but my feeling is that for many of you that work is spirit work, it's soul work, it's shamanic work, it's healers, light workers, you know, giving messages, spiritual messages, counselors, that type of thing. But for some of you you might be like, yep, that is my new beginning. I've been training in that for years. Like, it really is time for me to now put that out there. I do need to just get my work out there. Or maybe you've been writing something that's spiritual for years or something. Whatever it might be. For others of you, this might be completely new news. And you might just suddenly get this calling, this awakening, something might end, get pulled away. And that's kind of your time to make the decision, go within and be like, okay, why is this happening? Not why is this happening to me, but why is this happening for me? And then see where your intuition leads you and really trust in that. Because I do feel like you've got this, yeah, there's this beautiful expansion coming in for you. Is that all the messages for? Okay, one more. I feel like one more card for you, pile number 2. One more tarot is coming in for this new beginning. Oh, the Emperor, beautiful. Yeah, I do feel like for some of you, you're gonna go off and do your own thing. The Emperor is like, you know, well, someone who's in charge of their own empire, you know, so you might be setting up your own spiritual empire, your own, it doesn't have to be spiritual, but I feel like for many of you, this could be some kind of spiritual work. So you're going to set up your own empire or business, or just be in charge of your life. Like have that self-mastery, you know, put your work out there, it's like with this tree, it's like your plant and the seeds of the future already lie within you. It's like this, you're going to be this great emperor, you know, that's highly regarded by people in whichever field it is that you decide to go down. But the seeds are already planted, and this is the tree. It's like you've got the seed of an oak tree, if you like, inside you, and it's going to grow to be a huge, beautiful, gorgeous, lush tree. It's absolutely incredible energy. So yeah, I feel like that is all the messages that I have for you, pile 2. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes, for your subscribes. It's been an absolute joy and a pleasure to read for you. These are general readings, so always just take what resonates and leave the rest. Please leave a message below if it did resonate. I would love to hear from you. If you would like to book a private reading, then my details are below. Otherwise, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye-bye. Hi there, pile number 3. If you chose the Amethyst crystal and the Ace of Swords from the Line Strider deck, then this will be your reading. So I'm going to actually start, I'm going to put the tarot to one side for now, because I'm going to start with the channeled messages I got through from your oracle cards, and then we'll move on to the tarot towards the end. So the energy that you have got coming in for your new beginning is card number 1 from the Energy Oracle deck, the Sun. Really gorgeous card. So I'll get into your messages in a minute. I'm just going to lay the cards out first. We then got card number 34, Universal Light, from the Chakra Oracle deck, which is linked with your, this is to do with your soul star chakra. We got the Balance, Spirituality and Practicality, Full Moon and Pisces card from the Moonology deck. We got the Master Maker from the Fairy Oracle deck, which, by the way, you were the only pile that got a fairy card. I was about to put your oracle cards away when I got a nudge from the fairies to say that there was going to be a fairy card for you. So I'm just going to move these over so they can all fit in. So this is a bit tricky to fit in now because you got an extra card. Here we go. Extra special, pile number 3. And your goddess card is card Iduna. Grow a garden and share the fruits, and she is the keeper of the apples. So let's go into your channeled messages first. So starting with the Sun card, this is an incredibly auspicious card to get for your new beginning, card number 1. The Sun in this oracle energy deck, it's all to do with like conceiving a new project that might be something like having a baby, for example. We've got a little baby here. It might be some kind of creative project or artistic project. You've got some paintbrushes and a trumpet or trombone or something here. You've got a book. It might be getting a book published or writing a book or a novel or something like that. Or growing a garden. We spoke of Iduna, grow a garden and share the fruits. So it might be starting a garden, maybe like a community garden project, something like that. But it's all about that kind of idea of like sowing a seed for something, like conceiving something, starting something new, that is then the sun's going to shine on it and it will grow and grow and grow, and you'll just see this beautiful bounty come out of it. I get very strong creative energy from you, pile number 3, and also I was guided to use the Line Strider deck, which, as you can see, it's like beautiful artwork, beautiful watercolor paintings for each of the cards. So you might actually be painters, some of you might be writers, something like that. Some of you might be like some kind of like creative cooks or something like that. With that grow a garden and share the fruits, it's like there's something around, you know, gardening and cooking and growing food. Maybe you want to start some kind of sustainable food project or something along those lines. Or there's a few different strands I'm getting, so we'll look into that in a second with the tarot. But also the other vibe I got with the fact that I picked up on this creative vibe, the Master Maker came through for your Fairy Oracle card, and this card is all to do with like artisans and craftsmen, and like really becoming like a master in your craft, like really mastering your art, really mastering your craft, and like taking real pride in it. And whatever it is you're doing, even if you're at beginner level, the Master Maker talks about like treating each project or each piece of work that you'll do as if it's like an art, you know, a beautiful piece of art, like taking that real joy in just the whole process of crafting something. So say, for example, if you're a writer, it's like not just the, downloading of ideas, the conception stage of like, oh, I've got this great idea for a novel. It's like actually with the Master Maker here, it's kind of saying, okay, you've got to balance that spiritual, that kind of channeling that spiritual ideas and downloads and all that kind of the muse and all that side of things with practicality, with like actually crafting what it is that you want to make. So that's for the analogy of growing a garden, it's like you can't just plant the seeds and walk away. You've got to tend to the garden, you've got to water it, you've got to put the fertilizer spray on it or whatever, you've got to check for slugs and bugs and whatever it might be. There's a whole process around it, so you've got to kind of balance the the kind of conception stage of a project, whatever the project is, and their ideas and kind of all the sort of inspiration and so forth that you might get with actually like being quite practical, really working on your craft, really taking the time to craft something. So for in the example of a novel, it's like, not just looking at the ideas behind it, but actually saying, okay, I've got to, maybe improve my writing skill. I've got to take as much joy in the editing process. I know for many writers, it's like, oh, I love the writing bit, but I hate the editing bit, but it's like, you've got to really like balance both those sides. It's like to be able to put something out in the world, which I feel like this new beginning and the sun there, it's kind of saying you are going to do this, like whatever this new project is, whatever you're conceiving, you're going to put it out there. It's going to happen. You're going to grow that garden. You're going to share that fruit. Like these ideas that you're getting from spirit or from the muse or, whatever you want to call it, universal light, your soul, self, your higher self, however you want to conceive of that, those ideas that are coming through, that light that comes down to you, those ideas, you need to actually practically work with them and start sharing them with others. You've got to get them out in the world. You've got to craft it and then put it out there to share. It's not just for you to keep in your head. It's not just for you to enjoy yourself and like have that initial conception. I do feel like for some of you with that the master maker being here, he's got quite a little stroppy wee attitude on him. You can see with his finger pointing down, he's like, right, come on, you got to do it. I get this energy of some of you might be quite dreamy and intuitive and like inspired and be really like super creative kind of people, which is lovely. With that full moon in Pisces, you might be like, you might have like your Venus in Pisces, or just have Pisces really strong in your chart, because that's all about that kind of almost ephemeral, like very spiritual, very intuitive, very creative. It's linked with the fish, so it's all about like, swimming in the water, like swimming in the sort of waters of like inspiration, if you like, being very it's also a sign that's very connected with emotions. You might sort of end up maybe being a bit getting overly emotionally invested in your creative pieces perhaps, or like procrastinating a little bit. There's just a little bit of a vibe of that, because with that master maker here and like him pointing his finger down, he's like, come on, you've got to do the hard work now. You've got to master this gift. We didn't just give you this gift for like, for fun. You've got to grow this garden. You've got to share the fruit. You've got to share the fruit of your gift. You've got to share the fruit of your, say, if you're a painter or an artist, or if you're a musician or a writer or a mother, someone who's gonna, if you're wanting to have a baby, or grow a family or something like that, whatever it is, there's an element of like needing to actually share it with the world, and not I guess not getting too swept away by the kind of dreamy Pisces element of that spiritual gift. And Goddess Athena just fell down there to be like, okay, you've got to listen to the wisdom within yourself. You've got to create a bit of a strategy here. So Goddess Athena is a wonderful one. I think I mentioned this in the introduction of marrying your like masculine side with your feminine side, which is kind of a similar energy. You've got this yin yang symbol here with these two fish. And it's talking about balance and balancing spirituality and practicality, or balancing the kind of intuitive, dreamy side and the muse and the inspiration that comes through within the practical side of like, okay, I've got to put this out in the world. What's my strategy? What's my plan to get this work out there? Like, what am I going to do to like, perhaps create some kind of structure to finish this piece of work? I really feel like for many of you, this could be something you could have been working on growing for a while already. This is not necessary, even though this reading is about a new beginning. This is less about something that you're going to start, and more about something that you already know what this is, and you've already perhaps been working on it, but it's your new beginning is in getting it out there, like actually sharing the fruits with others, sharing the fruits of your labors, getting to a point where you've created a practical plan to like actually put this stuff out there in the world now. So let's just get a bit of an idea from the tarot, a little bit more specific idea of what this new beginning might be for some of you. What's this new beginning? Wow, yeah, building something. Three of Pentacles. Excuse me. So this can speak of like teamwork, building a dream, building a legacy, success. You know, you can see in this case it's like these two birds. They're going and collecting. You know, birds will make nests from these little bits of you know, ribbons or sorry about that, part 3. I just had a little snaggle in my throat. Yeah, it's working towards like building something, creating a legacy, like building. It's like, what's this piece of work that you're working on? It's like your Taj Mahal, if you like. It's like your Mount Everest, your Magnus Opus. It's a piece of work that you're going to leave a legacy with, I feel like. Especially with that universal light card being here. This is very much like almost like downloading soul wisdom or downloading soul inspiration. You're someone who can receive those messages from the universe, and then like as long as you balance this practical side out, you can then like radiate that same light. You're like a sun to others. It's like they'll be drawn to your work. This work will like actually keep other people warm in that sense. It's like the sun is as much the energy that's going to come in as much as it is your energy, the energy that you shine and radiate. What is this new beginning that's coming in for pile number 3? What is this new beginning coming in for pile 3? Justice. Whoops. And 2 of Swords. Yeah, going within with the 2 of Swords there. This speaks of going within and making a decision based on your intuition. You can see this bird is blindfolded, or he's got this helmet covering his eyes, so he can't see which way to fly. So it's like whatever this thing is, I'm sort of getting this energy of like flying by the seat of your pants. It's like you aren't going to be able to see where to go with this. Like there's no cut and dry like path for you to go down where it's like a this is not like a paint by numbers kind of thing. This is you really working with like your higher self, because this card is the Soul Star card, or it's linked with the Soul Star chakra, which is the chakra that sits above your crown chakra. So it's like you really being able to connect with that higher wisdom and your higher self, and like higher beings, almost like ascended masters, gods, goddesses, that type of energy. Or whatever that can be anything, whatever you believe in that's a higher power than one's own sort of physical ego self, if you like. It's like connecting with that and trusting that to guide you towards whatever this work is and get it out. It's like not letting your own ego limitations block this work, this project, this conception, this idea that needs to come through you and out into the world. And then we've got the Justice card, which is also, in fact, it's also speaking of, it's interesting, it's come out right underneath Balance. It's speaking of balance. We've got the Scales of Justice here, speaking of balance, and right underneath balance, spirituality and practicality. So I feel like this is just confirming that message of like finding that balance, going within, balancing your spiritual side with your practical side, balancing this amazing light being that you are, this amazing gift that you have, this incredible spiritual, creative, inspiring, intuitive side of you with though the side that needs to like take those steps towards practically sharing that gift with the world in whichever way that is, and it will be different for all of you. So whatever it is that you're feeling called towards creating or putting out there, for many of you, I think you are some form of artist, in whichever way you do that, but there's definitely this I'm hearing like sort of expressing your emotions, because we've got with this Sun card, there's this woman in like a cup, or a bath, sorry, in like a bath with like these lotus flowers, and she's like coming out of the water. And we've got water energy with Pisces as well. So there's definitely this energy of emotions, being very connected with your emotions, expressing your emotions. Justice can also speak of personal truth, you know, expressing your personal truth. Sorry, I just realized you can't quite see these cards. I'll just move that down a wee bit. So yeah, expressing your personal truth, being very clear on your personal truth, but just balancing that out, you know. It's not enough just to know your personal truth. You've got to align the messages you get from spirit then with like what it's possible to go forward and like manifest on the physical plane. Let's see if there's any more messages for you, part 3. Whoa, death and rebirth. Yeah, so there's a rebirth that's going to happen here in how you do things. There's some kind of ending to something that's going to fall away, and then a new beginning, which obviously we're talking about with Ace of Swords, and the theme of this reading is all about new beginning. So getting the death card is really, as much as it can look really scary with this skull here, it's really beautiful, because I feel like it's talking about whatever endings or upsetting things have happened in your life. It's like you're able to make art out of them. You know, you're able to, you can see there's this like all this dark energy here and here, but then in the middle, in this triangle that's here, there's actually all these flowers. So it's like you've got that perception, that artistic ability to look at things that were emotionally really upsetting, endings, grief, anything like that. And this might have been something you went through recently yourself, but you can transmute that and work with those emotions. You can craft with those emotions, and you can create something new out of this ending. It's like you can create, in the same way that a garden is created often from, you know, like if you think of fertilizer and how that all works, like things that have died essentially create the best fertilizer for, you know, plants and things to grow. You know, old fruit, old rotted fruit, old, you know, things that have deteriorated and broken down. In the process of breaking down, they create all this. I don't 100% know how compost works actually, but just, you know, they create all these nutrients basically in that decaying process, and that those nutrients from that decay process is exactly what the garden needs to be able to grow new life out of. It's the same thing with, say, like a forest, you know, like there's a certain amount of like forest floor that needs to be like die each year so that it can create life for new plants to come through. It's kind of the same energy, it's the same analogy. So it's like you have this incredible gift to be able to take and transmute painful situations, endings, things that have had to like fall away, burn away, and then you can use those you can use those experiences, those emotional experiences, as fodder to create new life, to create a garden, to create things that you can share with others. Really, really beautiful energy, pile 3. You're incredibly talented, I feel like. Let's see, we got another message for you. The devil. I'm going to get a clarifier on this. Why is the devil here? Woo! And the hermit. Okay. Yeah, so fair. Okay, so what I'm getting through is, okay, I'm getting a story now. Here we go. So this is related to, I picked up on earlier, I was speaking about someone maybe suffering from procrastination or blocking putting your work out in the world for whatever reason. Maybe you've got all these ideas and all this creative inspiration, but you've not actually like taken the steps to kind of put it out there. And that's to do with fears. The devil speaks of fears. It's to do with like just false illusions, things in your mind that are telling you, you know, I'm not good enough, or I can't do it, or I can't do it on my own, or no one's gonna like it, no one's gonna buy it, no one's gonna want these fruits that I'm growing, that I'm gonna share. Because with the Hermit, it came out in reverse, and I feel like it's kind of saying, so you're staying, because of these fears, you've been staying stuck in this Hermit role of like, essentially like kind of hermiting yourself, but not so much in order to gain spiritual wisdom or clarity on the path ahead, but like to feel safe. It's like a false sense of safety because you're afraid to do this work of transmuting, you know, these emotions and kind of sharing your artistic work and putting it out there. And it's interesting, we've got two skulls here. There's a skull at the bottom of this hermit, and again there's a garden, there's flowers growing out of the skull. So it's like, maybe for some of you, that might not be the case for all of you, that you've been stuck in hermit mode. For some of you, it could be that you've been genuinely in a sort of hermit stage because you've been going through this process of like transmuting some kind of dark night of the soul, some kind of like ending, something that was quite painful, and you're transmuting this, you're creating these beautiful flowers out of it. But I feel like it's kind of saying though, like, even if you have gone through that process, it's time to like come out into the sun now. It's like, it's time to share the fruits of your labor. It's like, you can't stay in hermit mode forever. You've got to share your work, essentially, is kind of the energy I'm getting. You've got to build something to put out in the world, like share your legacy. Yeah. I think there might be one more card for you. Let's just see if there's one more. One more card for pile 3. Ooh, that one jumped. Yeah. The Tower. Yeah, so something is being realigned in your favor for you, as much as it might not have felt like that in the past, or as much as it might not be feeling like that right now. There is this new beginning that's going to come in, because with death and the Tower and the devil, it's like old ways of being, old habits, old things that weren't really aligned are going to fall away. You can see these people kind of falling down. This can be like an ego, speak of like an ego death experience as well, like kind of any kind of false foundation that your ego is trying to build on to keep you safe. You know, with that Hermit card, it's like that's going to be pulled away. Like you're gonna be sort of powerfully redirected by spirit towards this like beautiful sunny new beginning, towards this this energy of I feel like it's this card really, that this is what you're going to be doing, is transmuting this darkness and like creating art out of it, like creating whatever that artwork is, you know, a book, a song, a poem, you know, a piece of like, you know, some kind of beautiful painting, or some kind of creative work. There's something that's going to come out of this ending, that whether it's something you've had recently or in the past, there's something that's going to come out of it that you're going to be able to create something with. And if you give it the time, give it the patience, give it the love, you know, grow it, like really work with it, really craft it, and then put it out there, and just trust that whatever you put out in the world, it will be received, because it's very aligned for you. So yeah, that is all the messages I have for you today, pile number 3. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Please leave me a message below. If you did, I'd love to hear from you. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you'd like to see more messages. Hit the bell notification if you would like to be notified when I put out a new reading. I try and upload 2 to 3 times a week at the moment. Otherwise, take care, all the best, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye-bye. Hi Hi there, part number 4. If you chose the Rose Quartz and the Jane Austen Tarot, this will be your reading. So I'm going to start with your oracle cards and then we'll move on to the tarot at the end and the channel messages that came through for these. So very exciting for those of you wanting to create a new romantic relationship. The energy that came through for your new beginning is caring connections, card number 14. So really beautiful energy there. The goddess card that you got was goddess Mut. It's time to mother yourself. Oh, sorry, Mut. I pronounced that incorrectly. Apologize, Mut. It is time to mother yourself. Healing awaits. Mother of mothers. We got from the Keepers of the Light Oracle, the Miriam, Sacred Vision. Choose to forgive in order to heal. See the light in all. Remember that love has no boundaries. We got Soul Healing, which is card number 35, which is the Soul Star Chakra in the Chakra Oracle deck. And from the Monology deck, we got Conclusions Are Within Reach, Full Moon Eclipse. So, really beautiful energy here. Whoops. So, yeah, pile number 4. If you have been trying to manifest, or if you've been hoping for a new beginning with your person, or with a soulmate or a twin flame, or just maybe you haven't met this person yet and you're hoping for a new beginning to come in a romantic situation, then good news, because with card number 14, caring connections, this can definitely symbolize you know, a new person coming into your life. So whatever it is, however you identify, whatever that is that you want to be. So if it's, you know, if you're looking for any kind of romantic partner, that is someone that's coming in for you. If you're not looking for a romantic partner, this can speak of just genuinely caring connections in terms of lovely caring friends and caring community and caring family and things like that. So it may be that you're already, say, in a committed relationship, in which case there might just be more opportunities to express care with each other. It may be that you've been in a committed relationship and you might be in a period of separation. So it's a good sign that, you know, there might be a renewal in affections or renewal in your relationship. But all in all, it's a very positive sign if you are wanting a new beginning in love in some form. That's definitely going to come through, and I feel like it's going to be a very healing love. If it is a new person that's coming in, this could be your soulmate. For those of you that identify or feel that you strongly feel that you are a twin flame, I'm not going to discuss the twin flame journey here. It's not the time or the place for it. But so don't worry if you don't know what that is or you don't agree with it. Just ignore this part of the reading. You know, it's just for those of you that do feel you're on a twin flame journey. This could be a sign that that particular connection is going through some kind of healing, because with the Miriam Sacred Vision, these are like twin souls. So you can see with the two, it's like the two souls within one oversoul that come onto the earth, and their message is choose to forgive in order to heal and see the light in all. Remember that love has no boundaries. So for some of you, I got that there's a soulmate type person coming in. For others of you, it might be that there's, say, a renewal in, it could be either a twin flame connection, like someone you already believe to be your twin, or some kind of strong healing soul counterpart connection, where like the whole purpose of the connection is really to heal you and for them to heal as well. But there's this message of like choosing to forgive in order to heal. So that's why I picked up some of you might already know who this person is. You might have been in some kind of level of connection with them before, and maybe there's been a separation, some kind of issues with them, and there's this need to like really forgive in order to heal. Remember that love has no boundaries. That very much is the, without going into the whole twin flame thing, but that very much is the twin journey, or a soul counterpart journey, is very much about breaking down those, you know, conventions or boundaries or false ideas about, you know, well, I can only love this person, you know, I can only love sort of someone who's just like me, and someone who, you know, is in the same, whatever it might be, you know, race or class or age or whatever. You know, with these kind of strong, say, whether it's twin or soul counterpart, soul healing connections, it tends to be about, you know, breaking down those types of conventional boundaries. Like, how can you love someone else when they often might be so different from you? So there might be an element of that for some of you. Either way, regardless of what sort of connection you're in, whether you identify with the twin thing or the soulmate thing or a specific person or whatever, it really doesn't matter. Those are just labels. So I encourage you to just detach from that for now and just focus on the essence behind the message and the essence behind the reading, which is that whatever this love connection is, it's going to be very healing. But there's some healing for you to do yourself first, or the way to connect, the way to manifest, if you like, this new beginning, this caring beginning with this soulmate type person, is to mother yourself and to know that, like, you're in charge of, like, your inner child. You're in charge of your healing journey. Really take responsibility for your healing journey. And maybe that there's some mother healing that might need to happen first before you can manifest this loving connection. Maybe some forgiveness of your mother. There might be some mother wounds or feminine wounds there. With the mother of mothers, it's time to mother yourself. The soul healing card can speak of, like, your inner child as well, so it could be some inner child healing that might need to happen first. But don't worry, because conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse, like this new beginning, this loving, caring soulmate, specific person, new person, returning partner, whatever it is that you're trying to call in, there is a conclusion that's within reach, whether it's to, you choose to forgive each other and become friends or something and have this lovely, like, a care for each other. It doesn't have to be romantic love, this. It could be, but it might just be more like actually saying, you know what, we've come so far, and really what is important about this journey is the healing, the things that have come up. We need to kind of go off on our own healing journeys now. And that might be the conclusion. Whoopsie. That might be the conclusion. But I feel like Athena's just jumped forward to say, like, listen to the wisdom within yourself and be independent, which could be very much a sign of saying, like, there is a bit of time first where it's important to find your feet, find your independence, listen to your own wisdom, go into your own healing first. And then eventually this new beginning in this, romantic relationship, if that's what you're trying to call in, it is within reach. It is coming in. It is going to conclude, especially for those of you that might have been like, you might have been, say, I'm kind of picking up on a couple of different examples or a couple of different storylines, if you like, but for some of you, you might have been dating someone for a while, for example, but you don't know where it's going, or you don't have a clear sight of, like, how things are going to conclude. Like, where is this going to go? How is it going to wrap up? Like, are things coming to an end, or are we going to move forward into the committed stage of a relationship? And I feel like with an eclipse, that can often signal things that are, like, covered over, because it's like where the moon covers over the sun. So it's like suddenly everything can go really dark, during an eclipse. So something might look like it's not going to happen, but then actually this whole beautiful conclusion comes into play, where as long as you've kind of done your healing work and taken responsibility for that, and any kind of forgiveness that might need to happen, whether it's of this person, or if there's been no issues with that person, you don't need to forgive them. Maybe it's someone else in your life. Provided that's all happened, then I feel like, once that kind of eclipse energy falls away, you will actually be able to see some kind of advancement in the commitment. It's like something's going to happen, something's going to move forward. There is going to be a conclusion to this scenario. Especially for others of you with, say, you're in, say, separation from someone like your twin soul or something like that, if you resonated with that. And again, don't worry about it. If you don't, just ignore this part of the message. This is just for those of you who do resonate with that journey and feel that you're on it. And it's a very sort of healing journey. Maybe you've been in separation for a while. It might be that conclusions are within reach, in the sense that that period of separation might be coming to an end, or that period of no contact might be coming to an end. There might be a conclusion to where that journey is going. You might see more clearly with sacred vision as well, you'll get a clear vision of like where things are going, both for yourself and this person and this connection. So let's get a little bit of a insight from the tarot on what's going on for pile number 4. What's this new beginning that's coming in for pile 4? What's this new beginning that's coming in for pile 4? Woo! Oh, we got 2. Wow. Okay, we got 2 of Cups. Yeah, gorgeous. This really backs up the Caring Connections card. In this case, it's got like a wedding cake and so forth. So it can speak of, some kind of commitment, some kind of partnership, soulmate energy. Just 2s are a number of partnership and reciprocity, balance, cooperation, someone who's very mutually beneficial. So I feel like if you've been through any kind of past connections where you've had to go through quite a healing journey, heal your soul, this person's going to be it's going to be a really reciprocal connection. There's going to be that reciprocity of love and care, and very mutually beneficial. So really beautiful energy. We got the 5 of Swords here. So there's a bit, there is a little bit of conflict coming through, and I'm not sure if this could be from others. This could be like others who disagree with your connection, maybe a mother figure, or just someone, even just friends or people in the community or something like that. Maybe that's where this forgiveness needs to happen, because maybe some other people might have gotten in the way of this connection, this caring connection. So there's some kind of like idea of maybe some kind of conflict, or sort of almost like slander I'm hearing, or could be something like that. Let's have a look if there's any other messages for a pile. Whoa, the Empress. Wow, gorgeous energy. Yeah, it's almost like, this is kind of saying you don't need to worry about this pile, for you're an Empress. It's like you're and this is also the Queen of Wands card as well with this Jane Austen deck. Some of the cards are duplicated, but I feel like with the Empress energy here, it's like the Empress combines all the power of all the queens, Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups. So like whatever's coming at you, like you can deflect it, because you've got the ultimate power. Like you're the ultimate queen. You're like the queen of the queens, basically. And this person, like, even if maybe, this situation could have been like a third party or someone else trying to come in between your connection or something, but it's like you're the queen of their heart, this person's heart. Like you're their Empress, you're the queen. You're gonna triumph over whatever that might have been, so you can have your 2 of Cups. Really beautiful energy, pile 4. And I just saw 122 on the clock, so yeah, 2 of Cups, number 2, and we're in year 2022, so there might not be any more cards. Kind of gone slow. Oops, that one. 7 of Pentacles. Yes, beautiful. Yeah, taking aim towards what you want. Yeah, sowing that seed, and reaping that harvest of that seed that you've sown. Essentially, it's like whatever you took aim at, if it was a certain person, a relationship, this soulmate connection, this caring connection, it's like you can see this arrow is right in the middle of like its target bullseye, is what I'm hearing. It's like you're going to get your abundance, whatever that is. Like it's gonna, it's like you can't miss, is what I'm hearing. Like as long as you've done that healing work, and and I feel like this card is also saying with conclusions are within reach. It's like there is, like, the healing work's not going to be forever. Like there's a conclusion that you'll come to with that healing work. There'll be an end to it. It's not like you have to do this inner child work forever, or this mothering yourself work forever. It's a period of time first, just to, like, you know, be independent, ground yourself, like listen, get used to listening to your own wisdom, become your own person. You know, take responsibility for your own healing first, and then you'll have this Two of Cups, this like marriage situation or wedding or commitment, or just harmonious love partnership, or the next stage of commitment for something you're in at the moment, whatever it might be. Yeah, and there might be a little bit of pushback from some other people, maybe a mother figure, but like, you've got this, like, you know, bullseye, like you're, yeah, it's all coming in for you. I think maybe just one more card to finish out, but I feel like it's a pretty unequivocal reading in some ways, for you, pile 4. It's fairly obvious. There's a little bit of healing, but a beautiful partnership, or a strengthening of an existing partnership. Woohoo! Oh my gosh, so many cards. I can't take all of these. Let's see. I feel like it's this one. Yeah. 2 of Wands. So yeah, this is interesting. This is like from Pride and Prejudice, where Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth Bennet are dancing together at the ball, and where he's just starting to like get eyes for her, I think, at that point in the story, where he's like, oh, she's actually really pretty. And it's 2 of Wands obviously talks about, like, you know, that energy of like looking out at a horizon for your ships to come in, if you like, or your dreams to come true, or like, what's out there for me? Like, could this be it? Is this it? Is this gonna happen? So it's a kind of beautiful energy. We've got 2 of Cups to start and 2 of Wands to end. Yeah, Pride and Prejudice might be significant. Maybe for those of you that haven't read it or watched it, I would highly recommend it. I'd really recommend the BBC version. It's a mini series that came out in the 90s. It's absolutely brilliant if you haven't already seen it. If you like period drama, and I feel like if you chose this deck, chances are you know Jane Austen, or you like Jane Austen, all those stories. So you've probably already seen this series, right? But, or there's the film. I think this drawing is actually based on that. I feel like that girl looks a bit like Keira Knightley, so it could be the film version. You could watch that, but there might be some little messages for you in there, just to, like, you know, yeah, little messages about maybe your connection that might be a little bit like the Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth Bennet connection. Maybe that's why there's all this stuff about choosing to forgive, because, you know, didn't Elizabeth Bennet have to forgive Mr. Darcy for, like, you know, removing his friend from her sister and all of that? I mean, I don't want to give too much of the plot away in case you haven't seen it and you're going to watch it, but, you know, there were all these misunderstandings between them at the beginning, and there were all these things standing in the way to love. Right? There was pride and prejudice. You know, that's what I was talking about at the beginning with that twin thing. And regardless of whether you're a twin or not, just ignore that. The point is that, you know, with that, love has no boundaries, and this idea of, like, you know, pride and prejudice, and, you know, there's always things standing in the way often of love at the beginning. Like, there's always something, you know, like with the prejudice thing. It was I think Mr. Darcy was like prejudiced against Elizabeth's family because they weren't, like, you know, refined enough or upper class enough. So it's like, you know, that could be one of the boundaries that could be standing in the way between you and your person. There could be like a class difference or a socioeconomic difference or something like that, and maybe one or other of you has been a bit prejudiced in some way. So it's like, what is that boundary? And I'm just using that as an example. I'm not saying that's exactly what's been going on, but obviously just take it as it resonates. But, you know, maybe maybe there's been too much pride. Maybe someone has done something, and there's just out of pride they've acted out of pride, or or not shared love out of some kind of pride. They've not shared their feelings or their emotions or been clear about those because they're too proud to share their emotions. So maybe there's some forgiveness there that needs to happen. So yeah, that I feel like was like a little special message for those of you that might have been in a bit of a Darcy Elizabethy-esque type dynamic with someone. For others of you, I feel like this is a bit more straightforward. It's a bit more like, you know, you're coming into your Empress energy. You've got this reciprocal connection coming in, this soulmate person coming in. This might be a new person that you've not met yet. And yeah, it's as long as you've done your kind of healing work and you're strong in yourself with that Empress card there, like, you know, boom, you'll get what you want. Like, you'll get your goal, you'll come together, it'll happen. Like, trust the universe, this new beginning is coming in for you, and I'm so excited for you. This was just such a lovely reading to end on. I just love your reading, Paul. I'm so excited for you. Please leave me a message below if this resonated at all, if and especially if this comes in the near future. Very, very exciting. I don't know, maybe an eclipse season might be. I'm not sure, I can't quite remember when the eclipses are this year, but you could look that up and see. That might be when some of this stuff kind of might happen. So, okay, my lovelies, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your likes, for your subscribes, for your comments. Please hit the notification. Please subscribe if you haven't already and you want to be notified of any of my content when I upload 2 to 3 times a week. You can hit the notification bell. Otherwise, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next reading. Okay, my loves, bye.